All right, this campaign got one lead per 48 contacted. So I just want to show you some of the principles that we use to run this campaign that you can use to easily book a couple calls per day with cold outbound. So I've sent millions of emails, and this is just one of the campaigns that we ran like a couple weeks ago, and it got pretty decent results. So I thought it'd be a good example to share with you guys. There's a couple reasons that this campaign performed better than most. I'd say an average KPI is maybe one lead per 200 to 500 contacted when you're running outbound at scale. Like we send like tens of thousands of emails per day. But for this one, it got one lead per about 50, a little bit less than 50 contacted. And if you actually look at the split tests too, we can see this one we sent 400 emails, got two interest replies. This one sent 900, so like a little bit over double, and we got 18. So this one performed way better, however many times better. And then similar thing with interest reply, also not with interest reply. Same thing with the step two sequence. And so if you're actually just running this script and this script, who knows, could have been one lead per 40 contacted. Just very, very good KPIs. Okay, we can look at if we exclude auto replies, 35 people typed a reply to this. 77% of the people that actually manually typed a reply to our email were interested in what we had to offer. And so the first reason that happened is because it was just a really good offer. Like the best performing campaigns, it's not going to be because you typed up some really crazy wonky like campaign where you did all these crazy multi-channel things and you have this custom AI enrichment. No, the best campaigns are just like you have an insanely good offer and it's hyper relevant to that market. And so this offer was it was like free leads, um, and pretty much they didn't have to pay anything and they just got like a good result. And there's a reason for it is because there's like some early access offer, right? And so for you, if you want to get really good results, first just make sure that you can frame your offer in a way that comes across very, very good to the market. So the first ways of framing offers, first things I always say to people is pitch the results, not the service, or pitch the outcome, not the service. And so let's say you do advertising. Instead of saying, hey, could I run your ads? Be like, hey, I could get you the result by running your ads. Or even just saying, hey, I could get you this result. Could I show you how? And grab that little bit of interest in it. Okay. That's the first one. Second one that can work decently well is problem based. And so being like, hey, do you have this problem? I can fix it for you. Could I show you how? Or hey, do you have this problem? I can fix it for you by doing this. And now the difference between the campaigns where you say, can I show you how? Versus by doing this is the by doing this should be it should be adding more to the outbound. And so if you're doing something like SEO or advertising or something that's very common that people kind of understand, it might just bucket you into some category, make assumptions about you. I would do a can I show you how? And then when you're on the call, you can show them why you're different and hopefully why you actually do get results and the reasons for it. And that's going to be easier to handle objections on the sales call. And when you're like actually talking with them on either like a pre-qualifying phone call or on a Zoom or Google Meet call rather than over email. And then by doing this is if you have some unique way of doing it. So if you have like some unique AI integration enrichment thing, or you have some custom software, or you do some really niche thing that people haven't heard about as much, then saying that you do it in that way can be a unique selling point. Be like, yeah, we get this result because we do this. So I actually tested this in my campaigns as well, where I said, hey, not sure if you need it, but I could probably book you like 20 calls a month. Would you be open to chat to show you how we do this, right? That was one of the scripts. The second one was similar thing. Hey, not sure if you need this, but I could book you 20 calls a month by emailing every person in your target addressable market every single 90 days. And so lead gen is common, but saying, hey, I can email everyone in your target addressable market every 3 months, when they think about that, like, wait, I mean, if they did that, if they send however many thousands of emails that takes to do that to my whole market, could I not book at least 20 calls? And so that unique selling prop reinforced the offer. This one, the unique selling prop was those early access, and so it reinforced why they can get this free thing because they know that it's early access. They might need some feedback, they might need some testimonials, whatever, right? And so those are some of the best initial ways of framing your offer. Another way is just heavy risk reversals, performance based guarantees for free, whatever. Lead magnets do decent as long as it's an actual valuable lead magnet. And I like to think about it as like, what type of intent are you pulling from the reply to your initial outreach? So some types of intents you're pulling like a sort of marketing qualified lead, which like it's like a soft intent. They don't they're not saying that they like need exactly your service, but they're saying that they have a problem and that they're interested to see how you can fix it. And there's other types of intents, which is like a sales qualified lead, where it's like they're pretty much ready for the sales call already. Like they know that they need exactly what you offer, and they're just like, yeah, send me the calculator, whatever, right? And so for some campaigns, like you could have a campaign like this that generates 27 interest replies. Then you could have a parallel campaign that generates 10 interest replies, but because they have a higher intent, it's a way better performing campaign. So first is like, don't worry about the KPIs too much. It's just like how much money did you make from the campaign? To be honest, like that's how you track results. Um, and so if you're getting less interest replies, maybe you're trying to get an intent that's a little bit too high. Try to lower the intent that you're grabbing. And instead of trying to get people to say, yes, I need your exact service right now, let's book a call, maybe try to get people to say, yeah, I actually did have this problem a while ago. How can you fix it? Or like, can you show me how I could fix it myself for free, right? At least just get the conversation, get some sort of intention, some sort of interest from the outbound, okay? So that's on just like the offer end. I mean, you could go so deep into that, but think about the intent, results based, outcome based instead of service based, usually, or ask about if they have a problem, then show them how you can fix it. And then heavy risk reversal backed and unique selling propositions, those all do very, very well. And the second great thing about this is that the leads were pulled from X. So what I did, I pulled like competitors and like people who were following. I guess this is back to the intent as well, is people who are following lead gen guys who want this exact service. So I actually didn't pull my followers on X. I might run that campaign, but I don't really want to hammer everyone that's following me. But the kind of like custom lead source, we didn't just scrape it from like Apollo or like Zoom Info or something like that. These people are going to be getting emailed way less. And so you're going to yield an average higher reply rate, and you're just going to get more interest because you're competing with less people in their inbox. And so trying to find the exact source where people are showing the most intent for your offer is also going to get you insane results. Recently, we just ran a campaign for a client where we pulled people who were on like YouTube, and we found just like some custom listings of like a ton of different podcasts. We just scraped all of that, scraped their website, scraped their emails, and we got like hundreds of thousands of leads for free just by like prompting Claude Code. And that campaign is getting like a one lead per 200 contacts or something right now. So that one's doing very well as well. But custom lead sourcing is very good. I would kind of call X custom lead sourcing. Maybe not exactly, but it's just like custom just kind of means that like you're not getting it from like a platform that's doing it for you. You're scraping them yourself. And so it's fresh data, and you can scrape leads in places where it's showing intent. If you're able to do this for your offer, not offer all offers, you can find lead data that accessible. If you can, it's insane how much this can boost the results. Right? It's amazing. Sometimes it's like free with Cloud Code if it's like super publicly available. Sometimes it's paid because you have to pay for an API or something like that. X costs a little bit of money. But that was another insane driver of results. And so those were the kind of the main things that got us results in this campaign. Um, Everything else, anything else we did is just kind of secondary stuff that we always do for campaigns. But like the reason that this did better than most of our campaigns, I would say, is because we pulled the leads from X on people that were following people that would be selling something like this. And so they are the market, like they're literally the market because they've shown that they're interested in stuff like this by clicking the follow button and engaging with people that post content about doing similar stuff to this. And then for the offer, we framed it well. We just had a banger offer, unique selling proposition on it with like the early access angle, and then we just gave them as much as we could. We didn't really ask for much in return. We were just giving them everything, and then they showed some interest. And now that they've shown some interest, we can convert them into paying people in many different ways by just helping them solve the problem, providing value, and then eventually they're going to want to pay us more and just like give us more, get more in return for what we can do for them. So those are the main things. If you have any questions about how we run this, then feel free to DM me on X or drop a comment. And if you want 500 free leads, like just completely free, I don't even think you need a credit card to sign up. You can go to mapsdata.ai, it should be down there, and you can just scrape your first 500 free. You can scrape over 300,000 leads for $99. So I'd highly recommend to test it out and subscribe.